In this video, we're going to talk about how to connect dimmers to LED drivers. Now, before we get started, it's important to note the types of different dimming systems that are available in the market. The first type would be considered triac dimming or ELV dimming. Now, dimmers of this type are connected to the AC input side of the LED driver or the LED fixture. By moving the lever up and down, you can actually change the level of current that's going to the driver. And in turn, the driver will deliver less current to the LED, giving you that dimming function. So this is very common in applications where you have older dimming systems that usually controlled light bulbs and other types of lighting systems that were much older. The next type of dimming system that's available in the market is called the 0 to 10, 1 to 10, or PWM type of dimming system. These dimming systems are considered the DC side dimming, or it's commonly known as DC side dimming, because the actual dimming circuit and control is done on the output side of the LED driver circuit. Now, depending on the actual dimmer, you will have different functions. For example, a 0 to 10 volt dimmer can actually dim all the way down to zero current or zero light output. We would also describe this as a dim to off function, because when you go down to the lowest setting on the dimmer, the drivers will actually turn off, which means that the LED light fixtures will be off. The next control would be the 1 to 10 volt dimmer. Now, a 1 to 10 volt dimmer, when the setting is at its lowest point, it means that there will be 1 volt on the dimming wires, and the driver will then produce usually around 10% light output of 10% current. And then finally, we have what's known as the PWM dimmer, or pulse width modulation dimmer. What that dimmer does is it sets a different pulse width, which tells the driver to actually function with a specific percentage of output current to the LED fixture. Now, all of these drivers are connected on the secondary side, or the DC side as we call it, because they are low voltage and they operate at a safe voltage, and also they can be controlled by other types of computerized dimming systems for inside building infrastructure. Now, it's important to note though that when you're selecting the dimmer, or you're selecting the dimming system, you know exactly how much current this dimmer can handle, because the way these dimming systems work is they're actually going to pull current from each individual driver. Now, if you notice on a dimming driver that has DC dimming, you'll notice that there's an actual set of dimming wires, and you'll see it by a plus dim and a minus dim designation. Now, it also shows the wire colors. These wire colors, however, can change from time to time, so it's important that you check the data sheet and check the most updated data sheet to know what the color codes of those dimming wires are. Now, when connecting multiple fixtures to one dimming circuit, it's important that you actually check the dimmer itself and make sure that it can handle the multiple different streams of current that it's going to draw from the LED drivers and the LED fixtures. The more drivers you have connected to the dimmer, the more current is going to be drawn in. So it's important to note, and this is not very obvious, but in the dimming driver data sheet, there will usually be a designation for how much current is going to be made available from each driver, depending on what setting you have for the dimming function. And if you're not sure of how to connect these dimmers to the drivers, give us a call at TRC, and we'll be happy to explain to you what is the proper way to make that connection and make sure that you have that installation properly working.